Well, thank you for staying with us. This is Newslink Russia on eNCA. The working class is drowning in debt and some changes need to be made. This is according to KZN MEC for Economic Development, Siboniso Duma. Speaking at the BRICS Employment Summit, Duma pleaded for a program to save the workers. He further called on labour experts and senior government officials to adopt a clear resolution on this matter. Well, the MEC speak to us now all the way from Durban, joining me via Zoom. And thank you so much for your time, Ndate Duma. I suppose before we get into the matters of BRICS and your plea to the BRICS members that were in attendance, perhaps let me afford you an opportunity to give us your reaction and your word of tribute to the passing of the ANC and the former Foreign Deputy Minister Aziz Pahad's passing.
Thank you so much, Tumelo, with your viewers at home for affording us this opportunity. It's true that, in fact, the Pahad family played a pivotal role in the formulation of struggle of South Africa, even the apartheid movement in London at some point in time. Both the family, both the brothers, Aziz and Esop, are well known for ensuring the struggle for unity and ensuring that there is non-raciality in the country called South Africa. So we condolences to the family and we wish them all the best. We hope God is going to put the bandages in the entire family and they must be protected.
Yeah, and I suppose it's equally, not a coincidence, or maybe perhaps even coincidental, that we're talking about the working class, given the involvement of Aziz Pahad in both the ANC and the SACP. But perhaps as you put your MEC hat on now, let's go back to your plea regarding, the working class currently drowning in debt and, the changes that you think need to be considered and to be made to accommodate them.
I'm sure you know, Tumelo, that in the stratum and the working class is always at the center of ensuring, because they sell their labor. They are at the center of ensuring that they change people's life. But unfortunately, they are the one as well who suffer the brunt because they produce the means of production. But at the end of the day, they don't benefit out of the profit. They don't benefit out of the production at the end of the day. So we are pleading with both the public sector and the private sector. Just make sure that you create an enable environment. Indeed, the government with nice policies will always try and strike the balance of ensuring that they manage the wage gap bill correctly. Unfortunately, the private sector, in their nature, it's designed in terms of the economic base, that they want to maximize the profit. So unfortunately, they are receiving garnishing orders on a regular basis. Some of them, they don't even see the value because they know that on the 15th or the 25th or the 30th, they're not just going to enjoy the fruits of their labor. Instead, a lot of debts will be coming on their side. Their kids or their offspring are also being deracialized. In some instances, they are not benefiting in the process and they're excluded, even academical, those kids who are students. So those issues that at the BRICS are we just craving for their indulgence, that if they can just apply a new microscope of ensuring that we assist them.
I mean, when we think about the BRICS Employment Summit, one wonders, what exactly is this program about, and does it really reach the workers on the ground? Does it aim to really reach the struggles of the workers on the ground? One can even view the meeting and the summit as a very much hierarchical, far, to reach for the workers conversation that is not inclusive of their voice. But from your perspective, what exactly is, on the agenda? What is exactly the program about? And does it reach really the working class on the ground?
I think it is holistic enough, but you must understand that if you think it's hierarchical, it is because BRICS, in their nature, they have resolved that on these countries, for instance, South Africa is a country, we are not well developed. So if they come to South Africa, they will check the imbalances of the past. Unemployment is part of those things. So if you want to develop South Africa, just make sure that you invest on infrastructure, you invest in technology, you invest in workmanship that is going to be assisting in the global arena. So indeed, because Taylor Marty, who's the Director General at Department of Labor, is the one who's the current chairperson. So we will always express in the presence of China, in the presence of Brazil, the presence of India, just you must understand this is where we are as a country. because there's a benchmarking exercise at the same time. So it is data, it is something that is at the level, because on network, they will strive to take that balance, but on the ground, the unions are at the center of just giving all the issues. So the apparatus are there, and we are glad that they chose Durban, because the reality is that we always characterize ICC as the destination, but there are some strategic spaces that must be utilized in the province of KwaZulu-Natal. So you will know automatically when you land at King Shaka Airport that as much as this place is developed because it's in the urban stream, there are rural areas in South Africa. There are different sectors like agriculture, like mechanics, like industrial areas that must be developed. So they are mindful of those things. They are thorough, which is why last time they were here at BRICS, they visited Richards Bay, ITZ, and the Duma trade port. So I'm sure they are zooming to a proper proponent, and the effect is going to be felt on the ground, because there will be a resolution at the end of the day, so that even when they must assist us in terms of investment, they will know the gap, they will know the value, they will know the Gini coefficients as the statistics and the standard at the same time.
Yeah, and just in my last question to you, and briefly, please, in your answer, if you may, for me, I mean, one of the themes that I understand that we're tackling at this meeting includes labor rights, but also skills development, right? Because in as much as the plea and the call is to, you know, save the working class and the workers from debt, it's equally important to know that, you know, skills development is equally important. When you look at the world around, you see that there's definitely a skills deficit with where the world is going technologically, digitally, now with generative AI, and South Africa cannot be seen to lag behind. So we need to make sure that even workers are upskilled.
In fact, if you can just give you a practical example, South Africa will have the coal for the next 150 years. But if you just want to transform, and if you want to utilize the green economy, the green energy, and all those things, you first have to reskill those workers who are currently in the process. Just make sure that they don't lose the scope. So the issue of technology, the issue of other countries are already approaching the fifth industrial revolution. We are saying that South Africa must not be left behind. South Africa must partake and understand in the journey, but South Africa as well, in our creative industry, we must embrace that spirit that we also partake in the journey, but we create new methodologies that are going to be suitable for our environment. So that's where we are. And at the air center, our workers, the middle class, must be the one commanding voice and must be taken into cognizance as they lead the day-to-day activities and the praxis of in the workplace.
And thank you so much for speaking to me about this and joining me this morning. MEC for Economic Development, Tourism and Environmental Affairs in KwaZulu-Natal, Mr. Siboniso Duma. Thank you so much for your time.